Howdy everybody, I'm Dave with Nelson Creek Farms, welcoming you back to the channel again today. We've had our first good hard freeze last night. It dipped down to 29 degrees Fahrenheit. That's below zero for all you 10 finger counters. Anyway, we are going to finish up a little bit of our winterization projects for here at the farm. And we're going to put together another video for later in the week while we're at it. So stay tuned, we got some more coming up. I know I'd said I was going to shut that hydrant off here at the well, but that didn't end up happening. So today we're going to go down into the cave and turn off the water for that hydrant. I swept off around the lid. Now to clean up where the lid was sitting. What I'm trying to do here is minimize the amount of junk that falls down into that underground pit. Yeah, now it's good enough to go down into. Now there is a reason why I haven't been down into that pit before to shut that water off on this year. My knee is so bad, I have to use a little bit of a walking stick to help me get down into that hole. So if I fall, I promise I'll let you laugh. And speaking of laughter, despite my working real hard and getting rid of all the stains, I lost my job as the church window cleaner. Now for me to get down in there, this is going to be quite the trick. Something I have to do at the in-town job on a daily basis just to get down on my hands and knees. Ah, damn. That right knee hurts like a booger when I bend it like that. Anyway, now that I'm down, I can go down stiff-kneed on the right side and yeah, continue on down into the hole. Woo-hoo-hoo. This is the view going down. Oh, pardon the wobbly. This is the view going down in to the well pit. This is the controller for the pressure valve right there for the well pump that is down there under that plate right there. And that's how we get domestic water into the house. But what I'm after is back here. What I'm after is that valve assembly right there and all these down that pipe for the hydrant up above. So what I'm going to do here, this one's real easy. Just pull the handle on the ball valve and unscrew that little drain valve. And that lets all the water pressure out of the system. And you can see it dribbling out. That valve right there being off, that's the handle and all, drops the water pressure out to the hydrant north of the barn. Now that I have these two valves shut off, that one and this one up here, there's none of those little drain caps under here that I can remove. Yeah, and now next is to remove the plug right there on the bottom half of that farm hydrant. And for that, I'll just use my handy dandy Leatherman because that isn't even really in there all that tight. So yeah, something like that. That's the water draining from here on up to the top of that hydrant. I've got all those little caps and plugs in this little plastic Ziploc bag. And so I don't lose them between now and next spring, I'll just set them up here on top of the controller. Yeah, nothing will bother them there, and they should still be there next year. And now I'm getting back up out of the hole, and I might have to use that stick as a little bit of a leverage to help me get up out of here. Like I said, if I fall, you can laugh. How do you tell somebody that they're an idiot? You just remind them that wisdom has been chasing them, but they have been faster. Yeah. Would that hydrant have gone ahead and frozen? Most likely it probably would have. And it has before in the past, many years ago, before I started draining that every winter. So just good practice to drain it and shut everything off. Yeah, because it never freezes down in the hole. But that thing sticking up above the ground drops cold air down in. And with that drain valve plugged in the bottom, that was where it would have frozen and broken. And then it's fun trying to get that hydrant up out of the pipe that it runs through to go down into that well pit. So what do I mean by that? Well, if this pipe on the hydrant right there, if that freezes, it'll swell up and get bigger, and if it splits, it's bigger yet. And this whole thing runs down through another pipe. Right, and there's the hole. It had some tape wrapped around it to keep water out of it. But it's a bugger to get that thing in and out of there, and I got to take that bottom valve off with the plug just to put a new one of these in there. Yeah, so I really don't want to do that. The next thing I got to do is put all of the hoses that have been drained into this little storage room in the end of the barn. Yeah, along with all the sprinklers. They go in this little bending room or little used room as well. And here's my next problem. I forgot to drain the 2,4-D weed spray out of that tank. And it looks like I should have been using it a little more than I did for all the number of weeds that's floating around here. Yeah, even the old trailer's buried in some weeds. That means I'm going to have to fire up the Cub Cadet riding lawn tractor, hook on to that thing, and go spray some weeds. Not that it'll do any good this time of year. I heard the other day that Pete, our flasher uptown, was thinking about retiring. So when I saw him standing on the street corner, I asked him. He said, "No, I think I'll stick it out for another year." Yeah. I didn't film any of me getting rid of that last 7.5, 10 gallons or so of weed spray mix that was in the weed sprayer, because quite honestly, it's starting to cloud up. The breeze is starting to pick up again, and our daytime highs are only in like 48 to 50 degree range. So yeah, yesterday we had 30-mile-an-hour winds with gusts as high as 40, so the wind chill was awful. Didn't get anything done yesterday, but today was fairly nice. And now that it's clouding up, it's getting later in the day, it's time to go back inside. That way yours truly doesn't catch a cold. Well, as I wind up the last of this garden hoses that we've been using here with our sprinklers at the farm for around the buildings and the show area and whatnot, I wish you all well and hope you have a good week. And we'll be back with a little bit of tractor work later this week. Got a few attachments to add to the new LS tractor, so we'll be making that happen this week. Anyway, I'm Farmer Dave, wishing you and yours well, and y'all be careful out there. You have a good one now. Bye-bye.